Joy News
All right, so it's time for Joy News Interactive, and we have a number of stories that we're going to be doing, but already people are commenting about this research about regular sex, and it looks like people are really excited about it. We just posted in 42 minutes and what, 13 shares already. We'll bring you all that. We're not going to start with that, so you hold on. But you can keep sending your messages.
Yes, exactly.
Aisha tells me that messages are also coming up on WhatsApp, right?
A lot of them coming on WhatsApp. Hold your gun. We'll get there soon. But I must say, Israel, you're looking great. I promised you that when I come back, I'll tell you. So
yeah, I like to reserve my comments when it comes to you.
Do.
I shouldn't.
I like it that way too, Israel.
Okay, but when it happens, like you're trying to gag me.
Oh no.
But anyway, I mean, whatever I want to say, it's obvious from the TV.
Okay, so you don't say anything.
I don't have to say it.
After here, great.
We need to.
Israel.
Viewers.
So time now to be on the most interactive segment, and you know how to join it. It's on facebook.com/Joy News on TV, and on Twitter it's Joy News on TV. On WhatsApp the number is 0560-800,000. Please send your name, location, but please don't call. That's the rule. Yesterday I wasn't happy because I had a lot of calls on WhatsApp. Please let's obey the rules. Well, so Bishop Dag Heward-Mills, the founder of the Lighthouse Chapel International, has observed that most African leaders are highly educated and products of world-class universities, but lack wisdom. According to him, they lack the ability to implement the knowledge acquired for the development of their countries, and this has resulted in developing countries always borrowing and relying on donor support, when in actual fact, the African continent is well endowed with natural resources. Simple question. What do you make of this assertion? You agree?
It's basically as a result of power drunk. I think most leaders are power drunk. They come with visions and aspirations, but when they are given the opportunity to do it, they turn power drunk because of the money. They become corrupt and they can't think straight, because he comes in with this idea, but maybe his advisor or somebody goes like, let's forget about this one and do this. And then I think they lack this because some too don't take God serious and some don't think right. You know, when they see the money, they change their ideas. You are coming in for the people, but when you see money and then you see that, oh, if I put this thing aside, I will get this in this. They want the fame and they are in for their own selfish ambition. I'm not saying the president now is coming for selfish desires, but that is how I see it.
We Ghanaians, we have a lot of minerals, but they don't use it for anything. And we, even if you can see everywhere, almost 50%, even 99% of students tertiary, they are still home. It's not like they lack wisdom, but personally they think about themselves, not others. That's the most important thing.
Anybody, wisdom is only given by God. So anyone who doesn't have that ability to think to change his or her world doesn't have wisdom. So if our world is not changing because we don't have the right people to think to change the world, then he is perfectly right for saying that our people doesn't have wisdom.
The African countries and the leaders in the African countries are actually educated. They've been to a lot of schools, high, whatever, but the challenge we have in the African countries is the implementation of the policies. Also, I think it's because of the system of the governance that is being practiced. Let me not say practice necessarily, but what is actually happening with regards to governance. And you know, they come to meet a system where, quote unquote, is corrupted, and they have to actually play according to the cards they come to meet.
What I personally think we lack is they implementing what they've learned from school. Because someone can go to school for a whole year and then he will learn very well, he can pass all his tests, but when he comes out to work, he doesn't do or he doesn't bring out what he has learned in school. So what he's saying, I side with him in a way.
So those were some interesting comments from the streets of Accra on Facebook. There are a lot of messages coming. Israel will help us read them.
All right, so Rainfred says, we cannot complain of resources, both natural and human. We can't complain of witchcraft either. It's absolutely true what Bishop Dag said. Some of our leaders lack wisdom and therefore no fruits to show. Wise men build things. Wisdom is justified of her children. And Fred Brown says, he's even one of them. With all the money he makes at Lighthouse Church, why can't he even open a factory so people can get work? But since he doesn't want to pay taxes, he collects from the poor. And he says shame on him. Okay, so he's gotten quite a number of replies, and you can imagine that those replies aren't going to be kind to him. And okay, so he keeps on going. Well, let me just leave that. Let me leave that. Sana says it's very true because President Mugabe is the world's educated president, the one with most certificates. But the problem of Africa is that they believe that political office is only used to enrich themselves, Africans with their selfishness. Aganku says, if governments are not developing Ghana, what of you as an individual? Lexus says, this is mere greed and wickedness. Alhaji says, I do never trust a pastor who has established a church. And Nantoma says, do they really lack wisdom? No, they are interested only in developing themselves. And Andrew says he's out there preaching the gospel and very soon he will get to you. Don't make any harsh comments here when you have no idea of who he is. So a few of your comments.
And on WhatsApp, Apau Jimfi says some politicians may be well educated, but they fail and refuse to do their work well because of the actions of we the voters. Remember, majority of Ghanaians are still in the dark side of education and do not vote on issues but collect one t-shirt, stand in the sun to listen to promises which they themselves know they are not tangible to achieve. And that's coming from Apau Jemfi. Wisdom is different from being blockheaded. He is talking theologically, not politically. This coming from Chemical from Nkonya. And this one says, the man of God is right. God bless him. It's coming from Young Paul from Bolga. Martin says he's right. And Martin is sending this message from Bolga. Sylvester from Kwadaso says, if more sex is, oh, you're already into this. You wait, we'll get there soon. And McDonald from WA says, yes, it's very, very true. I agree with him because all we see is book knowledge and applications of what is learned, and implementation too becomes a problem. It's coming from McDonald from WA. Akot Jr. Okay, this from Evans. He says most Ghanaian leaders are not God-fearing. I believe maybe that's why we're having to face these challenges. Okay, so moving on to President Mahama, who has distributed outboard motors to fishermen on his campaign tour in the Western region. And this action by the president has generated reactions and criticisms from a section of the public, with the anti-corruption agency Ghana Integrity Initiative describing it as an abuse of incumbency and vote buying. So what is your own assessment of this event?
It is part of the campaign. He is going on campaign tour. He's not visiting the people. He is running a campaign. So it's some money that he's going to run the campaign, use to lure the people to vote for him. Nana Akufo-Addo is doing the same thing with his pocket money. Dr. Papa Kwesindum is doing the same thing with his pocket money. So why is the president using our taxes to gain votes whilst others are using their pocket money to lure, to campaign for votes? The problem we have in Ghana is that the so-called people says they are very intelligent, right, have locked up their intelligence and have thrown away the keys. And they are seeing a broken table and they say that, oh, it shouldn't be fixed. After all, it is standing.
And yes, we need to reason now because he's just using it to win votes. And as at now, if he had something to do, he should have done it earlier on before election time. And so as he is doing this, to me, I would say he's not even helping us.
If he is doing that not because of campaign, then it's a step in the right direction, like I said, and it is not misappropriation of funds. But if not, then it is misappropriation of funds.
The government has bought the stuff, not he. The government has bought the stuff with state funds. Then he's sharing it. Let's just allow him to share it because he's not saying that NDC is sharing, he's saying government of Ghana is sharing. That's my point of view. Government of Ghana is sharing. He didn't say NDC sharing it or MP sharing it or CPP sharing it. But this is government of Ghana is sharing it. So nothing wrong with absolutely nothing wrong with it.
But you know, most of them are illiterate, as I'll put plain, because they act on what they have seen. You can tell me to vote for you, but what would you do for me to vote for you? And what they need now is something they can do. Right now, you've given them a motto, you've given them a reason why they should vote for you. NPP is not in power. I can say for a fact that if they were also in power, they could have done something like that to be in power again. But I see it as the President Mahama is trying to do everything possible to stay back in power.
So those were some comments coming from the streets of Accra. Once again, let's see what's on Facebook.
All right, Bismarck says, what is she talking about? If the president is on the campaign tour of the Western region and there is a national assignment to be performed, you come to Accra and then return there later to perform that assignment. Abi, a hippopotamus in the business of hypocrisy. Solomon says, NDC is best known for buying the conscience of some Ghanaians. It is not surprising that the president tagged Ghanaians as having short memory, but we are all waiting in anticipation of December 7. Zuno says, if you want to have a good case against the president at this time, you can't use one event. You need a trend of similar events, an establishment of clear, undoubtable motive. Come on, he's still president and must deliver on his promises to the people of this country. Would you rather have him go and deliver his promise, go back to Accra, and in a few days go back there to campaign? Nana Kwame Osei Bonsu says, what is the big deal about this? What prevents you from doing the same? Since when did the act of giving become a sin? If you can't stand the heat, walk out. Who's forcing you? I don't quite get you. Alale says, Mama is politically... Okay, yeah, that's not actually. Classic says, propaganda. So why did he wait until now? Good luck of Nigeria even put sticker on yams for people to vote for him, but what happens? We wait to see. And why didn't he give them long ago? But now it's too late, and Ghanaians will drop him like a yam for change, and change must come. And now, one thing I must say though, what tends to happen in other democracies like the US is, if Obama, for instance, when he was president and he had to still campaign, they bail him for using the state resources.
Exactly. I think it's fair.
Yeah, except over here we really don't have that kind of arrangement.
We don't have that arrangement, but it will be fair if we have such arrangement.
Because if he moves to the Air Force One or the helicopter, apparently he pays for it.
He must be, because it's not government business. Yeah. This is for campaign, right? So if we had that arrangement, maybe people wouldn't be accusing the president of abuse of incumbency. Well, on WhatsApp, this says, I'm tempted to believe the MPP is deliberately misinterpreting the comments by the sports minister. Okay, you're talking about campaign launch. And this one is from Nana Kwame from Obuasi. He says, why is he sharing it at this time? He has totally failed and he can even go ahead, give out airplane, he will still lose. That's from Nana Kwame. And this one says, okay, this is not political, but it's from government, and it consists of all the arms of government, so we shouldn't politicize it. Okay. Now, finally, a latest research has shown that regular sexual intercourse is good for men and their health. According to the research, men who have sex at least twice a week can almost halve their risk of heart disease. The study, conducted by a Nigerian professor of anatomy and endocrinologist and consultant of reproductive health, Oladapo Ashirus, used over 1,000 men who described sex as an activity that gives the heart a workout. And listen to this last part of the research. It says, ladies, don't deny your husbands of sex. So we asked, what do you make of this research?
Okay, I would say it's something that will help our health. Then it's a good thing to do. But
will you go for it?
It has to be between me and my partner, because I can decide that for myself as a person. It should be an agreement between the two of you, something that the two of you can cope with, something that the two of you can manage, because sometimes because of our work and other things, we are embodied with a lot of things, and there will not be any enabling environment for that. But if the two of us can understand ourselves and then think it will be okay for us, then we can go for it.
Okay, for me, I think it's true because I've read a lot about it, and I know it's an exercise that involves almost every blood vessel in your body. So if done quite often, that's maybe at least twice a week, it will help your blood to circulate and also putting less pressure on the heart, and that's helping curb heart diseases. Yeah.
After having sex, based on like some of my friends, what they told me, like after having sex, they feel weak. In that case, they need to go for this medicine, to gain their strength. And some too, after having sex, they feel like, oh, they are so excited. After all, they were able to, do whatever they wanted to do.
Interesting comments from the streets. Israel, what's coming on Facebook?
Okay, Pakwesi says if that is true, then those with heart problems should be giving room for sex at the hospital.
And on WhatsApp, Michael Acel says this research is serious. I'll be glad to know the people they used as their case study. Such a good news for boys. Unfortunately, time is up. I can't take all your comments, but that will be it for the interactive segments. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Do enjoy the rest of our program.